everybody to tonight's SRN coverage of the Inspired Racing League. Drivers are just getting qualifying going now. We will take a look. We are at the Milwaukee Mile. Tricky little track we have here. Let's take a look at our race information for tonight. 71 degrees is your ambient temperature, 53% humidity. A little bit humid out here today. 7-mile-an-hour wind and a track temperature of 113 is not going to help these tires at all. It's going to be pretty slick out there. We kind of stay on our scenic view here. The Milwaukee Mile obviously is a 1-mile track. You see right there, not a whole lot of banking. Asphalt on the bottom, concrete on the top. You're going to want to stay towards the bottom side of this track. There is a curb and some grass down there that you want to stay out of. So it's a tough track to drive, but with this temperature at 113 for the track, only going to be getting hotter here this afternoon. Going to be very difficult to keep the tires under you and keeping them from wearing excessively. So this should be very interesting as we develop through this race and see who's going to kind of come out on front. Let's take a look now, if we can, here at a few of our drivers. We're going to kind of get on board here with Shane Haar, or just watch him anyways and see if he is going to put this thing on the pole here. And right now scored in the 3rd position, so he may have already made his best lap. We will have to see as he kind of comes around. And crosses the stripe there. No improvement for him, unfortunately. Shane Haar looks to be the only one on track. Scratch that. The 28 of Tommy Hemley is on track now. And these guys all got their qualifying done pretty darn quickly, so Hemley is the only one actually taking time right now. Shane Haar is pretty much done. Ooh, and you see how loose he is just getting through there. He is going to shut it down right after that. Says forget it. Can't get much better than that. It is tough, and especially when you're qualifying and trying to go as fast as possible on cold tires. You can definitely overcook them and get messed up going out of the corner. And out of 4 right there is probably the worst spot to do it, because if you're on your first lap and you do that, you're going to mess up your first lap and your second, because you got no momentum coming off that corner. So that is not what you want to do there. But several drivers are probably experiencing that and will on the beginning of this as well. So we got just a few seconds here until these guys are finished with the qualifying and get gridded up. We will take a look at our grid as soon as that session finishes and it lets us pull it up. All right, so we should be able to pull that up in just a second here. We'll take a look at who's going to start where. And there we go. So Jordan Giorno is going to be your pole sitter. Cade Cannon's going to be 2nd. Shane Haar gets 3rd. Levi Ramsey is in 4th. 5th is going to be Aaron Stanton. Mike Hauser is 6th. 7th is going to be Stephen Henning. And Elijah Fisher is 8th. Josh Henderson is 9th. Bobby Hadaway is 10th. Brett Hanrahan is 11th. And 12th is going to go to Chad McNeil. Let's see. 13th is going to be Jason Williams, Chris Leota, and 14th Cameron Wessenberg. After that, 16th is going to be Nathan Johnson. Tommy Hemley is in 17th. 18th is going to be Logan McNeil. 19th will be Blake Hasty, and Darcy Haar is going to be 20th. And rounding out our field in 21st is going to be Garrett Jenkins. So as these guys line up, let's see if we can talk real quickly with our pole sitter, because I believe that they're going to just have 1 lap here, possibly 2, but he'll get this in sooner rather than later here, so we don't bother him while he's getting ready to go. Jordan, Matthew in the booth, you got me, bud?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Pretty good. Well, put her on the pole. Great lap there. Let's talk about strategy here. What are you looking for here in the race? What you gonna try to do?
I think I'm probably gonna focus on running long just because with how complicated pit road is, I'm kind of worried someone's gonna wreck it trying to get in or off of pit road, and I don't want to be caught on strategy like I was at Texas. So I think I'm probably running long here. I don't know how I ran that lap. That's the fastest I've ever gone, including in practice at this track. So that
Well,
was cool.
well, it's definitely a good time to do it. So we'll. I like the strategy play. Go long. You don't know. You might get some short runs, but hey, if you take care of your tires, then you won't have to pit. You can stay out there with track position. So we'll see how it plays out. We will be watching. Good luck to you.
Yep. Thanks.
And you were in Chevy 1, right?
Yes. One.
All
Thank you.
right. All right, put him back in his channel with his teammates, and they are rolling and getting ready to go here. All right. Now, like he said, those qualifying laps are tough. This is going to be tough here as well. The track is hot. The tires are cold. You guys really have to be conservative for the first couple of laps. Let them tires warm up, but I can tell you there's going to be guys in the middle of this pack and toward the back that see it as an opportunity early to make some passes, and so they're going to be wanting to make some moves, and we're going to have to see if that's going to work out long term for these guys. Hopefully, at least on this first one, we can get them to just be calm, just be cool, and get this thing going, get some laps going here. But we'll see how this goes. Bunch of talented drivers in this league, so I know they're capable of running this type of race, and we are looking forward to seeing it. Looks like we are doing one more lap here, so guys have another little, maybe 40 more seconds to kind of get a little bit of heat in the tires. You see some of the drivers kind of waving back and forth a little bit here and there. Not a huge advantage that iRacing has for that. So, it can help a little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay, round 3 and 4 for the last time. We should see the pace truck peel off here and get this race underway. Pit entry is actually pretty far out of turn 4. You see it right there. It's kind of an abrupt turn in. This will be interesting for these guys pitting tonight. And green flag is in the air. Jordan gets a jump there, but the 9 does as well. And on the outside, we'll see he's going to actually take the lead on the outside. So that's something that they're going to have to watch on restarts here, is whether they want to take the high or the low. Looks like the high line was a lot better right there. So we will keep an eye on that as strategy plays out. 17 way high up in the corner there. A couple of guys are. Elijah's up there as well in the 4. Couple of different strategies going. You can see they're using a little bit of, all kinds of sorts of lines here. But the inside, I think, is definitely going to play out. But everybody kind of trying a little bit something different. I can understand 17 and Ramsey going up there high for a lap or two. You see him in the bottom now. Maybe he was just trying to take it easy on those tires. He knew it wasn't going to be super grippy, and might as well go the long way just to make sure that you don't have any problems. Look at Shane Haar now getting inside the 9 as Jordan Giorno has reclaimed the lead, and Shane Haar goes by Cade as well, so he's in second position now. And he is hunting the lead. Shane Haar inside there. Not going to be able to make the pass right there, but coming through the middle and out of turn 4, he's able to get to the inside as we are under caution. And it looks like it may be Darcy Haar. Let's take a look here and see what happened. It's going to be in that 35, purple and yellow. And just gets loose coming off the corner. like I said, with those cold tires, it's very easy to do. So, unfortunately, he's our first victim of that kind of over throttling coming off the corner. So we are under caution after only 4 laps. Jordan Giorno has reclaimed and kept the lead, I should say. He kind of lost it at the beginning. Now he's got it back. Shane Hart was looking pretty sporty there as well. And Kate Cannon started in second, but is now back to fourth. Just got to that outside and got kind of shuffled back. So everybody's learning a little bit here of how this track is going to race and how this is going to be. Elijah Fisher, first one jumping onto pit road. So we'll see. We'll take a look at pit road. Got a couple of takers there a little bit further back in the field. See if he's just going to top off or what he wants to do here. And looks like just a little fuel top off. So there may be, depending on how many laps they can go on fuel, that may be just a little insurance for later, and maybe just make this like a 2-stop race or something like that. So strategy is playing out already. Love to see strategy races. It's always fun. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing better than raw speed, but strategy is always fun to see who has the right idea and who gets lucky, doesn't. No other takers this time by. Looks like the leader is lining up like they're going to go one to go, and they are one to go. Lights are off the pace truck, so we'll get this restarted here on taking lap 7. And that looks like Darcy leaving the pits right there, so he may be a lap down, but doesn't lose another one right there, so that's good. Next caution, he might get himself a wave around and get back on the lead lap, and then he'll be right back in it. Plenty of time left in this race, so no reason to panic at this point just yet. Right, we're about ready to go here. The truck will pull off there. Restart zone right here. And great jump. You see the 21 get just a little bit sideways, just a little bit of spin, or just a lot of torque in that car. So he throttled up real quick. Look at that outside. Jordan Giorno took the inside again. Makes it work this time. And now it's got a decent lead there. So we'll see if Shane Hart can continue to attack, or if he's just going to be okay riding there for a little while and not burn up the tires for these guys too much out front here. As you see, Shane Hart's taking a very wider stance and then cutting in through 3 and 4, and that is a good way to save tire and have a very fast exit of corners. So got a good strategy there, good line, I should say, for him. And we'll see if others do that as well. You can definitely do that 1 and 2, 3 and 4, not so much. It's just the way the track is designed, the way the lines are on the track, just kind of the way it lines up. So you can see right there, the track kind of comes out in. You can go over those rumble strips, not the funnest thing to do, but you can do it. As we see, caution is out again. Looks like this might be Hauser. Take a look at Mike Hauser here, see what happens. He's at 43. Looks like the 28 car just kind of went through the corner faster. He thought the 43 was going to come down, take the bottom side, and I think he just kind of misjudged what he was going to do there. So unfortunate, the 43 kind of the victim of getting hit in the back there by the 28. That 28 is Tommy Hemley, so little miscommunication by them a little bit. As you see, our leader is now picking up the pace truck. We will have to see who's going to pit now after only 10 laps. And they're going to make that decision, I think, this time. And looks like Shane Haar is going to make that commitment, and nobody's going to go with him. Elijah Fisher doing it again as well. And looks like maybe one or two others back there are going to do it as well. Let's see if Shane Haar is going to get tires or not. I don't see tires going on, just a fuel and go here. Same thing for Fisher. Hauser is obviously going to have to do a little bit of repairs here. Everybody else looks to just be fueling up. And Hauser may have used his fast repair, so he's going to have to be careful here for the rest of the way. Or maybe he just didn't have a whole lot of damage. But he did have a couple of cars pile into him, so got to imagine that he did have some damage there. Do have one fast repair in this league per race, and he may have used it there, so no issue with that. Just got to keep her clean now. I'm interested to see, as you can see the pit entrance there, I'm very interested to see when these guys, if they have to pit under green, how they're going to approach that. You know, you would think they're going to have to announce that they're going to be pitting, and they're going to have to stay to the inside and hope that they're, you know, somebody behind them isn't too wide and not really have anywhere to go. It is a pretty tricky pit entrance. So pit exit is right there where they're going through now. That's fairly simple. But entry up. So if they do have that green flag stop tonight, we will have to keep an eye on that. It should be interesting and cause some issues. So they are lined up to go back green here again. We are going to take green at lap 13 this time. As you start to see on the outside of the track, the marbles are already building up, even on the first set of tires. So you don't really want to go up there too high. You get in those marbles, it's going to be very, very loose. Right, here we go again. Let's see, inside, outside. Inside definitely prevails. Now that he's able to control the restart, you see that car on the outside is not going to be able to get that jump from him. So it is definitely a good idea, I think, to stay on the bottom at this point if you can get that jump. If somebody could time it just right and get to the outside, I can tell you that they would have probably be able to take the lead on the exit of turn 2, but hasn't happened yet. And we see the 17 of Levi Ramsey. He is still kind of using that outside lane. Very interesting choice for him. There he is. He is in the 4th position. And you see the 72 doing it now a little bit as well. And they were almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide back behind him there, you see. And they get that sorted out and back down to 2 wide. Good idea by them. That's kind of a little bit too much for right now in the race, at least. And it looks like we got a battle for the lead as the 27. He had a great exit of the corner, turn 4. Now he goes through there, but is a little bit hot going into the corner. Carried a lot of momentum, but he should have good momentum off of this corner here. And he is clear. Let's see if he shuts that door and takes the bottom. It looks like he will do that. So Stanton in the lead for the time being. Up a little bit high there. He's going to open up the door again for the 84. He's going to go back inside real low there. Got a little bit loose off that corner. Got to regroup. We get kind of a bird's eye view here of about the top 5 we have in frame here. As you see the 17 in the back in a battle. It looks like the 32 of Westenberg. Now you see the 27 kind of getting some space, but again, goes a little bit high. You can see that gap just evaporate when they go up high like that. So that is not the preferred line. You do see them carry some momentum off of the corner, but and you see how the outside to inside cut into that corner. Sooner or later, we're going to see guys go over the rumble strips there. Now the gap getting a little bit smaller. Oh, the 27 there you see gets a little bit loose. But held on to it fine and still continues to have the lead. So 72 is definitely in the picture now. 72 is Henderson, and they are 3 cars under a blanket for the lead now. Almost had to look underneath there, but couldn't quite get that done. And he wants to do it again. It's just Jordan is attacking the entry and center so hard that he's not getting the drive off the 27 is, and that's a driving style difference. Not necessarily going to hurt the tires more or less either way, but he's not able to turn off, and there you see him kind of turn in and get a little bit loose. He was almost there, almost had it. He is trying pretty hard at this point to get that lead back. '72 is he keeps getting close and then backing up, close and backing up. I'm wondering if he's not just content to see, like, are these guys going to wreck each other here, or hey, let me just let them eat up their tires. I'll go by in a little while because we do have a good green flag run going here, and so tires are going to become an issue at some point. 27 kind of scraped the wall there a little bit, looked like. Goes pretty wide on that one. Let's see if the 84 can hold it there. Gets a little loose off the corner. Otherwise, he probably would have been able to stay side by side. And this is kind of a 3-car breakaway right here. We have it all over 2 seconds back to the next P4, which is Cade Cannon. I'm sorry, Ramsey is P4. Battle just continues here. 84 you see just kind of being pinched down and cannot drive off the corner. Is he going to try the outside at some point, or is he going to stay committed to just running this bottom? See the 72 kind of trying that, diamonding the corner they call that, go from inside to outside to inside throughout the corner. Kind of diamond that off, and it works for good entry and exits. Very slow in the center though. Now he's got a nose in front of him, but look at that run on the outside off the corner. I got to imagine these guys are hurting their tires a bit, but they're fast. It's 3 seconds now back to the 4th position. So these 3 cars, even though they're battling each other, are the fastest on track. And now the 72 is looking inside. 84 gets by. 72 now looking to the inside to go as well. And he's going to have it as well. Now, not sure if Stanton is just saying, hey, I'm not eating up my tires, or if he's already kind of eating them up. Not really sure, but he loses 2 positions there and settles into 3rd. I would imagine at this point these guys are just going to ride for a little bit here. Let's take a look a little bit further back here. As the 32 and the 9 are going at it. Looks like the 9 has gotten around for the 5th position here a little bit, but the 32 is battling back. Westenberg now technically has the lead with his nose in front. And he's going to try to keep it in there throughout the corner. The 9 kind of goes a little bit wide there. And it looks like Westenberg's going to make that, but we got caution on track. And so I think Westenberg's going to be able to keep that position, although the 9 goes by for now. He was definitely in front of him. Have to check the scoring loop on that, but it looks like Steve Henning has had an issue. Let's see if we can see what that is. And he's going to be at 12 machine there. And he just kind of drove into the back, and then the 43 actually was the one who ended up kind of hitting, but he got checked up because he kind of hit that car in front of him. So chain reaction there is what brings out our 3rd caution on lap 26. So we will take a look, re-rack here, if you will. And these guys, plenty of these guys got to be pitting now. As you see a little deke. 17 is definitely coming in. And you can see in the back of the screen there 4, 5, 6 other cars. But the top 5, top 4 at least, top 4, 5. Yeah, those guys all stayed out. So not ready to pit just yet. Gets off, 4 gets off. Like the 43 Hauser waiting just a little bit on fuel, maybe a little bit of repairs, but doesn't want to lose too many positions. Let's see. Aaron Matthew in the booth got me.
What's up, Matt?
Hey, so great run there so far. I mean, it's been kind of a battle. There's 3 of you guys up front there that are going for it. So quickly tell me kind of what was it feeling like there? Are the tires starting to go away? What was the decision to stay out?
Just strategy. We have to at least run 38 laps a set, so I might as well just, save a set early on and run hard at the end. And yeah, Jordan's fast, so I was trying to beat him, but I was also trying to save tires as much as I can, so I don't know.
Yeah, not
my own little strategy.
Not the time to be super aggressive in battle just yet, but you guys are getting ready to go. Good luck with these sets of tires. We'll be watching the rest of the way.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so there you have it. That's Aaron Stanton, and he's 27 car in our 3rd position right now. And that was a great battle that they had going there, that top 3. We'll see how this plays out now that these guys don't have the freshest tires on the track. They do have, let's call it 4 or so cars behind them that don't have fresh tires either. And then so you see the 17 there in about 10th. He was the, let's say, the first car off pit road. So we'll have to see. And you see the 72 there get a little bit loose, so that means the 84 Jordan can go wherever he wants. He's got a great line. Great recovery by the 72, not to let that cost him too much time, though. And there's Shane Haar right back up into the 4th position, battling for it, I should say, side by side. Now we're kind of single file here at the front. Shane Haar did get 4th from Cannon. And back under caution again. You know what they say, folks. Cautions breed cautions. Let's take a look and see. Oh, man. Looks like Mike Hauser was probably in this one again. Let's take a look. There's a 43. They are 4 wide, 2 deep, y'all. That ain't going to work. No way. The 17 got kind of turned there. Hauser was just, he's just a victim of it. But, he didn't have really hard contact. See Chris Leota there in the 62 just kind of stopped the car. Unfortunately, see if we can get another little view here. That's just wow. The 32 and the 95 really were ultimately the ones that kind of started, but the 17 just came shooting through there and kind of floated up the track into the 32 a little bit. So I would not want to be race control on that one. I would not want to make that call. That's why I'm in the booth. I'm not a controller. And plus, nobody likes race control. Doesn't matter what you do. So yeah, so we'll see what they end up calling with that, but unfortunate, 4 wide, never gonna work. So, and 2 rows deep. I mean, that's a lot to expect those guys to be able to handle right there. Gordon's gonna fake that he's coming in, but he's not. Shane Haar's gonna come in though. We'll go on to the pit lane, and now you see a bunch of cars in the back coming in as well. Guys in the back got nothing to lose, but let's see if we see our first tire changes here. Shane Haar, let's see if the side goes up. Yep, it does. So Shane Haar is going to be taking tires. A couple more cars back there taking tires. I see their kind of sides going up. So here we are, lap 32. Guys are finally going to take a set of tires. And now we're definitely going to have some guys, some faster guys, some slower guys. This is really going to shake things up, and these guys that have tires are really going to have to Pay attention, be safe. You know you're faster, but you're going to have to show a little patience to be able to make those passes. Last thing you want to do is get your car crashed because you were being impatient. Guy lost control, Everybody pitting. We might go a couple of laps here. Not really sure, but stay here at the end. Here. Lights are off, so we're going to go green on lap 34. Question's going to be, when are these guys going to come in from the front? They got to come in. We get 10, 15 laps here. I got to imagine they have to come in, but we'll keep an eye on this. Shane Har, the first one to come in, is in P10, so he is, only halfway back in 21 cars, so he's only halfway through the field, so didn't lose a ton. I think he was in about 4th there, so loses about 6 spots, but now that he has fresh tires, he is bound to be a heck of a lot faster than guys, and we'll really start to see what this tire fall off is going to be. And we're actually going to go one more here. I guess everybody didn't quite get lined up, so they'll give him one more lap to get it sorted, and then like everybody's caught up now. Essentially, they need to tighten it up just a little bit, but like everybody's there now, so we should be able to go green here. Just thinking back to what Aaron Stanton was saying, that he wanted to be fast, he wanted to be up front, but it wasn't the time to battle and heat up those tires. And I just wonder now, and knowing that he's probably going to pit on the next stop, is he going to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that, okay, I saved my tires long enough, now I want track position for when I pit. So we'll see how he and these other guys decide to act on this one. We are in the restart zone, and again that 72 kind of slides the tires just a little bit, getting up to speed. Good recovery still. We're 3 wide in the back again. Looks like that 72 may have scraped the wall just a little bit, but he's still fast. He's going to be on the outside there, 27 in the middle. Almost made it 3 wide for the lead. Probably not a good idea. And you see a 28 car there is loose off the corner. Almost slid into the pits. That wouldn't have been good, but he got it back under control. And it looks like the 72 up top there is not able to stay with the 84 of Giorno, so he's going to have that position, and the 27 of Aaron Stanton is probably going to make that pass as well. So 72 loses a spot on that whole exchange. Not too bad, though, having to start on the outside. That's kind of to be expected at a short track, so he settles in there in 3rd. Got Shane Har there, right there. You can see him going by in that purple and black Jordan machine. He is up to 7th at this point and looking for more on those fresh tires. You can look at the drive off of the corner that he got. Now he's the bottom of 3 wide. Nope, 2 wide now. 28 gets back out of that. Didn't want to get pushed up into the wall, so he wisely decides against that one. And so you can just see the speed there over the 9 that he has. Now he's going to be working on the 4 car. Coming up through the field as they are kind of single file out front. You see the 21 and the 4. There's the difference in tires right there. He's just passing cars at will at this point. Now working on the 23 there, McNeil. Got past him with now the 4 is going to try to follow him through. Great strategy by the 4. To follow the new tires as much as you can, but you see he gets a little bit loose there off of 4. That's going to cost him a lot of momentum, unfortunately. Like a good corner going through here. 23 going to be able to get that momentum off the corner. They're still side by side. 28 looking towards the bottom to make it 3 wide, but he can't get that done. It looks like Elijah will have this pass going into the corner most likely. No, the 23 is hanging tough out there. And now the 28 is going to try to follow the 4 through, but he can't quite get it done. Looks like now he's going to be clear as the 23 goes pretty wide there. And it looks like we got a battle for the second position. Well, so let's kind of refocus here just a little bit. Back up to the top 3, you can see in the back of your screen there that there is still that battle going on between the 23 and 28. The 72 is kind of falling off a little bit, so it looks like the older tires are not so good for him. But the 21 now, he was pretty close. Look at that run through there. Just takes the bottom, and it's so much faster through there. And he's going to make that pass with set his sights on the 84. Now these guys, I mean, are wisely not putting up too much of a fight. They know he's got fresher tires. This is a strategy thing, and you're going to have to let him go. You see the 23 gets sideways and into the grass, but keeps it straight. No yellow flag at this point. Har now working on it wisely, just kind of taking his time here, not going to push the issue. Knows he's faster, but he's going to look for an opening. Isn't going to force it. Doesn't want to go to the outside because he's going to end up working his own tires more than he wants to. See how much better drive he's got through corners. Oh no, and that was Jordan all by himself. I could see that live. There was no touch there. We'll take a look at this from kind of the chopper, and we'll see what that looked like. But I'm pretty sure this is all alone. Yeah, there's just no touch there. And very strange spot to lose control of it. I mean, that looked like extreme netcode to me. It just doesn't. Let's just back it up and go again. It doesn't look like the 84 is clear off the corner. It doesn't look like a spot where he should really be getting loose. It looks like, that's just so weird. It just doesn't look like a spot that you would have that issue. But here we are, and now you have a couple more of the leaders pitting here. So 27, 72 are in. Obviously, Shane Har not coming in. Elijah Fisher electing to stay out there. And let's take a look here at everybody kind of coming in. And I don't see a whole lot of tires. There we go. There's tires on the 27. 84 getting tires. 72 got tires. Got a few guys here obviously getting tires now. Now that we are almost a third of the way through this race. We'll check and see. So trying to remember who came out first there. Where they're going to end up. I feel like at least the top 12 did not come in. Yeah, so 9 was the first one I think we saw coming off. He's in 12. So 11 cars stayed on the lead lap. Now, some of them have already gotten tires. I don't believe Elijah was one of them, but I could be wrong. Elijah might be going long here for track position, thinking we'll get another caution, and then a bunch of these guys will have to pit with him. So keeping an extra set of tires for the end of this race, just in case they get a couple of cautions late, he can come in and get tires multiple times, whereas other guys might only be able to have one more set. So that may be the strategy he's working there, and we'll keep an eye on it. Now, these guys are lined up like they're going, but I believe the lights are still on the pace truck. Yeah, he's not peeling off yet, so they are lined up in anticipation, but not time to go just yet. Now the lights are off, so and get all lined up here. Got a few new faces up here in the front. Obviously, you know, Fisher has been in the top 10, but not this high yet. Lemley, Wessenberg, Williams, McNeil, all of these guys are kind of new up here with a bunch of guys pitting. So kind of get a good look at how their cars are going to behave up here in the front of the pack and whether they're going to be kind of Shane Haar is going to take the inside, and no one has taken that outside yet. Don't really have to when they can control the field, jump like that. So pace truck's off. Let's see what Haar can do here. Really, what Elijah can do on the outside. The outside of Elijah get just a little bit sideways there, just throttle. Not too bad at all, but that gives Shane Haar the opening that he needs to just take the line that he wants. Mary's got a big lead already of almost half a second. A bit further back in this field, we got Mike Hauser there in the 40 62 with Blake Hasty. 72 and 27. There you see them kind of. They are on those fresh tires now because they just hit, so we're going to have to see how they can come through the field. And we are under caution again. This looks like Levi Ramsey. Let's take a look at that there. At 17. Got loose off the corner. I do believe he came in for tires, so, you know, just those cold tires and a little bit over throttle off the corner, and that's all it takes. So we are in our 6th caution right now at lap 48, just about a third of the way through this race. Go back up front here as they catch the pace truck. Who's going to pit, if anybody? Got to imagine Haar is going to stay out. Let's see what Fisher and a couple of guys back here do. Approach. Even thinking about it in the top 10. They're all going to stay out for now. Take a look down pit road. Guys in the very back are going to take pit here. So some guys are thinking about it anyways, and coming in like the 5 or so in the back of the field. They ain't got nothing to lose, so they might as well come in, top off, do what they can do. Right. Car's kind of heaving around a little bit, just trying to have some fun out there, it looks like. Shane Haar looks like he's got a sporty car tonight, and he made it back through. Now we'll see what the tire strategy does. There are some guys back there that have fresher tires, so he may kind of fall back if we get a longer run here, just because his tires are a little bit older, and I think Elijah is in that same boat. So obviously they would like to see kind of a medium run here, maybe 15-20 laps. That way everybody would kind of want to come in and pit. But for right now, we have two groups of people kind of leapfrogging each other as they choose to come in and take tires. We'll get this going. Lights are off the pace truck. We're going after this lap here. We'll take the green at lap 52. See what's going to unfold here. Right, here we go again. No. Looks like they put the lights back on the pace truck, so we're going to go one more. Not sure why that happened. It looks like everybody was caught up, so something must have happened there, that somebody was in the wrong position or something like that, that they had to wave it off. So we'll go one more lap here, and then we'll win. Good for the guys that don't have the pressure tires. They want to see this as much as possible. The more they run under caution, the less likely they are to get past. All right, we'll see if we get it this time. Right, Shane Hard gets a great jump there again. Elijah's also clear, so he can go to the bottom, take what he needs. Top four or so get it settled out pretty quickly, but back behind them, it looks like five disappeared for a second there. Looks like you can see back there in the field a lot of double wide there. I think that's the 5 car of Nathan Johnson that's kind of blinking a little bit, so the race control can get a handle on that. That's tough to race around, unfortunately. And we got some cars wadded up here on the inside. I can see that in the back of the screen, and yes, we are under caution again. Looks like maybe Bobby Hadaway in this one. Let's take a look here. He's going to be in that 52, and I think it's shown as the 28, but yeah, take one more look at that there. I think the 28 got in there. He's the 28, but I think he's actually the 52. He got in there a little too hot, kind of floated up the field and just got to the inside door of that 40, and then that kind of just set off a chain reaction there. So back under caution again for the 7th time. This does happen a lot in the short track racing. You get a lot of cautions, and it's not always the same guy. It's like everybody just kind of takes their turn having an issue, unfortunately. So short track racing is definitely harder to do. You know, mile and a halves are very easy, and a lot of guys race those and don't put in the seat time that it really takes to be good at these short tracks and these unique tracks like Phoenix and things like that. But you know, Martinsville, Milwaukee Mile, Bristol, those things, you just see a lot of cautions, and realistically, it is completely just seat time. It is them being in the seat, understanding, you know, how the car is going to do, what it's going to do, how it's going to act, and running practices that are a whole stint. The car is completely different 25 laps into a run than it is at 1 lap into a run, and so just practice and seat time that drivers in iRacing in general, not picking on this league or saying anything at all, but in general, you know, drivers in iRacing just, they have to do time. They got to put in the practice if they want to be good at these tracks. And it happens everywhere. We just in our SRN league on Wednesday night just did a Martinsville race. And I believe there was 20 or more cautions in that race at 150 laps, and it was a long race. Let's just say that. It was long. Luckily, the laps don't take forever to click off here under cautions, so it will somewhat quickly here. Not gonna prolong it for too long. Lights are off the pace truck, but that through this time. Could be going back to green here on lap 58, so officially past a third of the way. Pace truck does pull off, so we go green here. Great jump by Elijah, but he does get loose. He had the right timing, just a little bit too heavy under the throttle there. Kind of touches the wall just a little bit to get him straightened back out. That may cost him the second position. See if he can get momentum around the outside here. And he is able to stay side by side, but not where he wants to be going into 3 here on the outside. So he's going to have to battle to get this back. Does enter that corner better. Let's see if he can carry the momentum off of the corner over Wessenberg in that 32 green car. Meanwhile, they're pretty much trying to go 3 wide back behind them as these guys stay side by side. And look at the 72 with the fresher tires trying to get around, figuring out how to do it. He is faster, but he's got nowhere to go. The 4 car is kind of losing a little bit of positions here, but he's not going to let him get clear just yet. This is where the 72 needs to be patient. He knows he's faster, but going 4 wide is not a good idea. And they barely make that work. Let's go up top here to get a little bit better bird's eye view of it. And so the 4 car of Elijah does relent to the 32. Now he has Jordan Giorno inside of him. I think all of these guys, maybe even the 23, have fresher tires than Elijah. So it's going to be a battle for him as he tries to take the inside there. Doesn't want to give up preferred line. So Elijah stays on the inside. They're now battling again with the 32, who's now stuck on the outside. 72 is still stuck back there. Can't get himself around cleanly. Meanwhile, you see Har has just left these guys. Jordan Giorno is at the bottom of your screen there. He is second place. And now these guys have it all kind of sorted out. Oh, wow. And this 32 just really kind of... That's weird. He just braked a little bit more than I think the 4 was anticipating. Now the 72 has got himself on the inside. This is where he wants to be, and he can use those fresher tires to rotate around the corner a lot faster than these guys. And let's see if he's able to do that. 32 is going to hold him pretty tight there. As you see the 4, finally the first car going inside the line there. But you see how he got a little loose off the corner, and unfortunately that's the gamble that you take when you hit those rumble strips and go underneath there. It is the shortest route. You can throttle up faster. You can also get loose off the corner. Now you see the 72 of Henderson is clear of those guys. Wow, Elijah Fisher at the bottom of your screen got super loose right there. And he's loose going into the corner again. Hang on to it, buddy. He's got it back underneath him. See if he can just loose underneath that 27 again. I think those tires are starting to give up for that 4 car, unfortunately. Chris Leota here, you see him in the 60. First time we kind of mentioned his name, just now cracking into the top 5. Shane Har out front, y'all. Now it's a second, so it was a little bit more than that. Jordan is catching him a bit. I do believe Jordan has slightly fresher tires, so that's definitely going to help him. And the 72 of Henderson, who is back in 3rd now, just coming right there. Got a little bit of work to do, a little bit of ways to go, but got himself clear eventually, and now he is with fresher tires and able to kind of maybe see if he can make up some ground now. As you see the 27 kind of giving way. Also came in with the 72, but he's had a tougher go trying to get through all these guys, so he is still trying to battle back. And Mike Hauser, who had an early issue, now back into the 8th position in that 43 car there. So a lot going on here in this short run so far. Back to Jordan here in second. You see that gap is definitely shrinking there to the leader. He is able to cut into that a 10th or 2 every lap, so he is faster. We'll just see if the 21 of Shane Har, if he's just kind of racing only as hard as he needs to, and if he's going to turn it on once he catches him, or if he actually is just got less tire left and is going to get past. Now they're kind of equalizing there at you know, half a second or so. But wow, look at that. That was a great corner for him. Shaves about a quarter of a second off in that corner. Still has momentum now. He is there for the lead, taking the inside. He's got his bumper inside him. Let's see who gets the momentum off the corner. Little loose on the inside there for the 84, but he's able to stay to the inside. As they go into 3 and 4, we'll go up high to get a good view of this battle. 21 gets kind of loose there on the outside center of the corner. That opens the door for the 84, and he has made the pass. Jordan Giorno back to the front. That's your pole setter that is worked his way back after some differentiating strategies on pit road than Shane. But now back out front for the time being. Go back in the field a little bit here because we got a whole gaggle of cars here. The 60 car trying to get around the 9 right now. And now trying to dip in to get inside the 32. 32 goes really wide there. 60 kind of washes up there a little bit. That opens the door for the 9. 32 still going to be out there, not able to clear just yet. See the 4 car as well, just battling back there, trying to pass the 43 car back. Elijah, great corner entry there. Oh man, and the 9 just kind of shut the door on him, and he great recovery from the 4 car, but definitely cost him some momentum and speed there. And I was just getting ready to say that he looked like he had that car back underneath him and had some speed, but that's a setback for sure, and he will look to recuperate from that. Go back out front as these guys are still after it right now. I thought that the 84 might be able to gap him a little bit, but not the case. Shane Haar hanging tough. '72 coming into the picture as well. Now he like I said, he was kind of caught back there, and he's cut some of that time off, but still about a second and a half back. So still some work to do for him, but he's shaving away at it every lap. And Shane Haar is just not giving up much of anything. They're staying right at that kind of a quarter-second lead. Call it 2 car lengths. He's staying right there with him. So he got him there. He passed him, but now hanging pretty tough. As you see that 72 now is about a second and a quarter. So about a quarter of a second he shaved off on that lap. See, that 84 is a little bit better through the center of the corner. That's the biggest difference right now. But again, a couple car lengths, that's all he's really getting. Shane Haar might be driving a little bit harder now just to stay where he's at, knowing that after this longer run that we have here, the next caution, everybody's pretty much going to get tires. So he may be thinking, no need to save a whole lot right here. Going to be pitting soon anyway. Makes up a little bit of ground there. Almost to the bumper there, but kind of overcooks it going into the corner. Looking a little bit further back in the field, looks like 32 and the 23, 60. These guys still going out kind of still lined up. Not really any side-by-side or hard racing or anything, but guys are racing very close to each other. And you see that 32 go really, really wide right there. And the 12 car now kind of looking inside the 23. So they are trying to get around this 23, but he's making that car as wide as possible. Now the 32 is going to try the inside. He gets that shut off. Can't really rotate that corner, so 32 is going to lose that spot. Possibly another one here to the 12 if he can get there. 32 really wide again, way up into those marbles. That's not what you want. He had to get all the way out of it right there. That's going to cost him at least 1 spot. Great momentum off that quarter though from the high side. Shot back out there. Not the way you want to do it though. That's dangerous. You're going to hit those marbles and eventually get so loose that you hit the wall. So you don't want to do that, but didn't hurt him too bad that time. Now the 12 back inside there. As you see, the 23 is inside the 60 up front. So we've got a few battles going on here in screen. And 23 makes that pass on the 60 out on the left side of your screen. And now the 12 car side by side with the 32. But can't make that pass again. So 32 hanging tough on the outside. Take a look real quick back out front. There you have it. 72 has caught both of these cars now, but still the same up front. About 2 to 3 car lengths, but the 72 is there. So 72 is a little bit faster, maybe a little bit fresher tires, but only by a few laps, if anything, over the 84. But you can just see him in those corners drawn up to these guys. So keep an eye on this right here as the 72, Josh Henderson, tries to get past 1 and 2 here and put himself in the lead. Got a little loose off that corner. That loses him a little bit momentum. 72 draws even nearer. 72 going a little bit high, and he can cut down into the bottom, exiting the corner, and he can get full throttle from middle off. Going to do it again on this side. Watch him go all the way down to the line. Couple more laps of that, and I think he's going to be right there. Staying hard, a little bit up the track there. Opens up the door. That 72 sticks his nose in there. Wants to take that line away. He's side by side. He's going to have the preferred line going into 1. 21 has to go high. 72 makes the pass. Momentum with the 21 right now, though. What's he going to do? Don't hit him. Hard lets off the throttle just enough so that they don't crash. So 72 now setting his sights on the 84 of Jordan Giorno. Josh Henderson looking really strong here, but he gets a little bit loose off that corner. Take him a little bit more time here. See what he can do. You see him draw up to that 84. He's within a car length now. Got a lap car in front, so we'll see how that works out. Ooh, 84 gets a little snappy loose there coming out of the corner. Doesn't cost him a whole lot of time, but 72 is kind of struggling a little bit here. See him kind of back up there. He'll get momentum off right here and be able to draw back up, but he just cannot quite get to that 84. Got to imagine he had to pass a lot of cars on this run, and so he probably used up a lot of the tires. They might be hot, they might be worn, but you can see that that 84, being that he was out front for quite a while, not having to drive so hard, is just a little more smooth right now, and that indicates that maybe he's just got, his tires are in a little bit better shape. So he is going to have to work hard, he being the 72 of Henderson, get around this 84. I mean, he's right there, but it is going to be difficult to make that pass if his tires are failing on him. Back in the field a little bit. Got this whole group of cars still out here. 32, 23. They've been next to each other all day. To the 28 going inside of the 23 there. A little bit of contact, but no problem there. Goes wide, 28 gets around. Look at the 5 out on the left side of the screen, just sideways off of that corner. Having a hard time controlling his car. Up a little bit further, the 943 of Mike Hauser, again, making a great comeback. He's in 6th, which is the same position he started in. So all the issues that he had earlier, he has recovered from, and now he's kind of hunting that 9 of Cade Cannon. And look at him go to the outside, just pulled to the outside. Not a great trajectory coming out of that corner, though. Costs him some time there. See, right behind that in the 7th is Elijah Fisher, so he is definitely holding his ground after losing spots on the restart. And you can see that 4, he is still very loose. So just battling his car, battling his tires right now, but a good job keeping it under him. 43 looks to be faster here. Take a look here. It looks like the up front, it looked like for a second there the 72 is going to be catching, but not look like that's the case now. Let's go back here. 43 is still working on the 9 and the 12. 12 it looks like has gone around the 4. Steve Henning, so he's going to be in the 7th. Elijah Fisher goes back to 8. 43 right there, you can see is much faster entering and through the center. Definitely a good corner there. Good 3 and 4 for Mike Hauser in the 40. Put him up to 5th. I'm sure he'll be able to make this pass as the 9 is going wide. He's got that pass clear and in the bag there. Guys battling is bringing the 12 and 4 back to them. So that's exactly what they want to see in their mirrors. 43, I think, is going to put a little bit of room on this 9 now that he's gotten around. We'll go back up front here as the 72 now is on the bumper of the 84. Gets a little loose off that corner. Can't make that work. Now the 21 is going to look to inside. So 72 did great work. Josh Henderson, great work to get up here. He is our biggest mover of the race, up 7 positions from where he started. Now 6 because the 21 just got by. But it took a lot of the tire to get him there, and now he is suffering. Maybe I shouldn't say suffering. He's just, the tires have kind of equalized, and now he's just hanging with these guys in the top 3. So, I mean, great work for him to get back up there. What he really needs now is a pit cycle to go through and solidify, have everybody pit and solidify him up in that top 5, and then he can kind of focus on the win. And there it is right there. It looks like we have our caution that he may be a bit looking for. Tommy Lemley looks like he's in that. Let's take a look here. So this is our 28 car, and the 5 kind of blinking in front of him. Wow, that was a weird one right there too. Got loose off the corner just like we saw earlier. Forget who that was earlier, but we saw the same thing earlier, late off the corner, but that one went to the inside. This one flipped to the outside, and then we also had, it looks like Levi in the 17. So he's loose right there. Oh, man, that crushed the car. He hit the trash cans, and that's going to be damaged. So that was kind of in the back of it. I don't know if they were watching it, but which one actually brought up the caution. But here you go. Our leaders are on pit road, and I think that's going to be almost everybody. Yeah, only a couple staying out. You see everybody kind of cycling down pit road here. That certainly was a weird one. Not sure how that car got loose that way, but here we are under caution for the 8th time. We're definitely past halfway. We're approaching kind of 2/3. See everybody in the pits there. Everybody getting tires, getting fuel. Race off pit road is going to go to the 84. Shane Hart is going to be 2nd, 72 in 3rd. 27 is coming out 4th. Remember, he was up there earlier and now cycles back through, and so he's going to be in 4th position. Everybody else kind of comes off as well. So that's exactly what I was just saying Josh Henderson in P3 right now was looking for. He got himself all the way back up there, getting tires before, had a good long run, got back to the lead pack, and is now there. And everybody is kind of recycled all of the pit strategies before. Guys going at this time, that time, completely out the window at this point, because on lap 91, everybody has taken tires. Everybody is on the same strategy at this point. Now, having said that, there may be a few of these guys that stayed out longer in that early run or two with the first couple of cautions that may still have an extra set of tires in the bank. So we will have to see if we get a couple of late cautions, who's going to be able to come in and take tires, who has an extra set. That was a good long run there. I mean, that was at least, oh man, I would say at least 22, 25 laps, somewhere in there. I mean, that was good. That was almost 30 laps, so good long run there. Everybody had to really race there for a little while. So see if we can do that again. Pace truck's pulling off now. Got a couple of cars still catching up. We are under green. Jordan takes off. Shane Harr gets a great jump, too, on the outside. That's probably one of the better that we've seen. He's going to be on the outside. He should have momentum off here. Let's see if he can take the lead early. Look at that momentum coming off of the corner. I do believe he's going to have it. He does have the lead, but are under caution, so I think he's going to get to keep that. What happened here? Looks like Nathan Johnson. Let's take a look. That 5 car was super loose earlier. I can tell you that much. I would assume he came in and got tires. Yeah, maybe just those cold tires kind of overcooked that corner a little bit and went in there too hot, and that's the result, unfortunately. So that brings out our 9th caution today. And Shane Harr does look like he got that lead. So everybody else kind of stays the same. But Shane Harr got a great jump, and that outside momentum pays off for him. So question is he going to take the outside now? I'm still waiting for somebody to do it. I just want to see it because I've never done it. So, I need to know. Kind of line it up like you want. We'll see here. Only a couple of guys in the very back came into pit road, so we don't need to go into that too deep there. See if we got a couple laps here. Toyota. There we go. Hey, Shane, Matthew in the booth. Got me?
Yeah, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, bud. So, good run through the race. You had a little bit different pit tire strategy than some other guys, but found yourself back up front. Great restart there. You're in position. We're past halfway. What are your thoughts and strategy going forward here?
Well, yeah, I think my strategy here is going to be holding off them 2 behind me. So far, they've shown some pretty good speed. Granted, they had a little fresher tires than me this last run, but,
yeah.
Anything can happen here. So I guess we'll just try and hit our mark and not make any mistakes, and hopefully we can get this.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, it's going to be exciting. We'll be watching. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Matthew.
All right, there you have it. That's our leader right now, Shane Harr in the 21 car. So we will keep an eye on him. I know he's fast, and he's right though. The 84 has been fast all day. He's our pole sitter. He's been up there. He felt went back when he got tires, but came right back up. And the 27 and the 72 kind of the same way. So these guys are very fast. Top 4 are very fast. You look at you got the 43 of Hauser now in 5th. 9's been up there. The 4 has been up. So realistically, the top 7 or 8 of these guys, I mean, anybody's got a shot. But of course, I want to be where the 21's sitting. I should have told them to take the outside, though. Dang it, I had the opportunity and I missed it. Well, we'll see next time, maybe. All right, so let's get this one restarted here on lap 97. Great jump by the 21. The 84 did not get a great jump, so the 72 is going to have that opportunity. The 27 pushing the 84 into the corner. I think the 84 is just trying to kind of take it easy, and everybody went a little super aggressive there, but he's going to be just fine. He's in the 3rd position now, which is pretty normal on the outside of a short track, so no harm, no foul there. But you see the 21 car getting a good gap there as we are 3 wide back here in the field. Oh, and you see the 32 of Wessenberg got kind of turned there. That was a quick caution, though. He got that kind of sorted, so no ping on my equipment here, but we kind of saw that live. It was that 95 that got into the side door of the 32 and kind of just turned him sideways, but he did straighten it out, and well, yellow flag thrown anyways, so we will re-rack and do it again. Interesting thought here just kind of crossed my mind. I wonder if anybody will come into top off because they could potentially make it from here. And a couple of guys kind of going low Deacon, but nope, nobody's actually going to do it. So it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Nobody back in the field there. Maybe 1 or 2 takers way deep in the field, probably more for damage than strategy. So nobody's going to do that just yet. I don't think anybody wants to do 50 laps on tires anyways, but should it go green and you just barely have enough, that would be the way. See the 6 car there going around, he's getting the free pass. And I don't have a 6 car on the scoreboard, so it's not using the number that is assigned to him in the league on iRacing, fortunately, so not sure who that was. Shown in the second, so he is going to be on the outside this time, and we'll see how he fares out there. The 84 is probably perfectly happy now, just third position, not having to do that off of the 21's bumper. Like they're going to line up side by side, lights off the pace truck. Should get the green flag here on lap 101 with 49 to go. Everything looks good. Looks like we're going to get it going here. It's starting to get bunched up. Truck's off. See what the 72 can do. Much better jump for the 72, but the 21 is clear, so Shane Hars is going to have the line going into the corner wherever he would like. 72 battling back there. You can see him kind of close that distance through the center of the corner. Good momentum through the straightaway. Now diving early to the bottom, saying, I want the inside. 21 goes through there way too hot, going into the corner. Opens the door for the 72. Who's going to take that? Is he going to come up? He's going to shut the door. Crossover from the 21. Going to go to the inside, going into turn 1. And side by side, they go through turn 1. 21 again, just a little bit loose there. 72 has momentum on the outside. We're under caution. Who are they going to give the lead to? I think that's going to go to the 72. Okay, let's take a look. Steve Henning looks to be the one who had the issue there. That's going to be your 12 car. And again, just somebody getting hit from behind. Not the 12's fault. I'll just say that. Doesn't look like he checked up too much. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. So, 11th caution now, and we will re-rack it here, but yes, the 72 does get the lead. So 72 going to be the control car. Please, my man, take the outside. The 84 was just kind of hanging on, watching that. 72 is, I don't want to say overly aggressive, but definitely aggressive on that restart. Got a jump on the outside, couldn't quite make that work. Dove to the inside on turn 3, and honestly, I think Shane Hart was just watching his mirror, watching that a little bit, and just overdrove the corner just a little bit into turn 3. That made him kind of go up the track a little bit more than he wanted to, a little bit into those marbles, and that opened the door for the 72 of Josh Henderson to take the lead. So that's where we sit now, and the 72 has been very, very competitive today. So I got to imagine he's going to be tough to get back around. Five cars going to come around here for his lap back. That's going to be Nathan Johnson, lap back. We'll see if we get one to go here. Like the 72 is going to take the inside. there's a couple cars here, like the 27. I know he's fast, but being on the outside, 21, and not being in the control, kind of at the mercy of that 21 getting a good jump. With Benhar is good at that. We saw it earlier, so we'll look for him to see if he can get a good jump and stay on the outside and make that momentum work through 1 and 2. He did it earlier. I wouldn't doubt it if he could again. 27 would love to just follow him right through there. Okay, there's the restart. 72 gets a good jump. 21 is on the outside. Going to commit to the outside through this first corner. Momentum is good, but not quite enough to hold the 72. So 72 is out front. Now we're kind of single filing up here towards the front. 84 now looking to the inside of the 21. Great momentum there. See what he can do with it. Very hard to keep that momentum off that corner. Gets a little bit loose there, just enough to give the 21 the momentum he needed to get clear. Now, don't wreck him. Don't wreck him. That's so close right there. Just put the bumper to him just a little bit. Just let you know I'm here. Oh, and we got another caution. Unfortunate. Looks like this one is the 60 of Chris Leota. Take a look here and see what happened. Going to be a single car. Or are they going to stack up in front of him? Yep, just single car. Kind of late off that corner like we've seen before. That one not so bad, but kind of weird off of turn 4. It's just snappy loose towards the late exit. So we'll get that going again. Josh Henderson maintains his lead, able to hold off the 21. Like I said, the leader is always happy to click off laps under caution. Everybody else wants it to go back green. But Josh Henderson is probably sitting here thinking this is the best way for this race to be going right now, the easy win. Jane Har fakes like he's going to pit. I think they're going to have to again at some point. It's just a matter of when are they actually going to do it. Coming off a pit road, he's probably going to have to stop there. He is, I think, a couple of laps down. Interesting from him. Usually that's a closed pit exit, and that would be a penalty. They just tell him to go back behind everybody, but where he's at right now is not going to work. So I think iRacing will sort that out. That won't have to be on race control. Should be telling him at some point here to move away from it. They come off the 4 here. Get the one to go. Lights are out. 17, like round to go back around and get at the end of the line, so he's not in the way. All right, well, we'll see it again. It's pretty much the same drivers, same scenarios, so we'll see what happens this time, if it's going to be the same or different. Right, here we go. 72 got the field. Great jump there by the 21. Let's see what he can do on the outside. He might be able to do this here. We saw him do it earlier. Great momentum through that corner. Great momentum off. He's not going to completely clear him, but look at the momentum, and now he is clear. 72 is going to keep it to the bottom. He's going to commit to the bottom. Both of them drove that really hard. Pretty much single file at this point. Oh no, the 43 of Mike Hauser. What happened there? He was doing so good. He had gotten up to the 5th position after the early issues. Let's take a look and see what happened there on that one. 9 cars inside. Clear there. Man, how many times are we going to see that tonight? Just one guy kind of slowing up, another guy not, and getting run over from behind. And it was kind of like a crossover deal. We've seen that several times. It's unfortunate for Hauser. That's the 2nd time that that's happened to him tonight. I'm sure he's not happy. Now, will we see pit stops this time? Or with all of these caution flags or laps, are these guys going to be able to just stretch it to the end? If you can stretch it to the end, you don't want to pit and give up track position, especially if you're the leader. If you're Shane Haar and you come in, everybody else is staying out. So he's kind of a sitting duck. You'll see what everybody's going to do here. No takers, no takers. All right, well, doesn't look like anybody's really coming in. Not even back of the field are they going to come in. One guy at the very back, so that's it. Now that's a tough break. Well, okay, so nobody came into the pit. Obviously, Mike Hauser is in there. The 28 came in as well of Lemley, but they are both in there for a reason, not a strategy. Maybe all these caution laps are making it so these guys can make it. And also not using up a lot of tire under pacing laps, so they may be able to stretch it out. I think we should be getting, you know, green on maybe lap, let's say 116 at this point, and that would give us 34 laps till the end. So not that far to go at this point. I think we may be just running this thing to the end. No more pitting for these guys up front. Nine cars to the inside there. Remember, he was in that accident earlier trying to figure out if he is, yep, he's going to fall back. So that is an indicator there that the race control has deemed him at fault for that, our 13th caution. And he is going to have to go to the rear of the field to serve that penalty. Can't say as I disagree with the call, but not for me to say. Shane Haar is going to be in control now. The 72 is going to be on the outside this time. 72, however, a couple of times he was in the 2nd position on a restart like this. Did get a little bit loose under throttle. A lot of times on these tracks, that's very easy to do. We will get probably one to go here. Sometimes even, and not so much in these Gen 6 cars, but in the trucks, especially when you're on a track like that and you have worn-ish tires and you're on a restart, whether you're on top or bottom doesn't really matter, but you almost are better off starting in 3rd gear because you can just throttle down and there's just not as much horsepower there. It keeps the vehicle underneath you. But if you're going to do it in 2nd gear, you have to be gentle on the throttle. You cannot just stab the gas or it will absolutely get sideways on you, as we've seen several drivers do today. So these guys, while the tires aren't super worn, they are going to heat cycle, cold, heat, cold, heat, cold with all of these cautions. That can put a little bit of a glazing on the tire. And of course, while they're running these, they're picking up a little bit of marbles, making it loose. So guys are going to have to be pretty careful on this restart here as their tires do start to wear. I want to say, yep, the truck is coming off here. We will go green. Great jump from Shane Hard. There it is. The 72 gets a little bit loose. Now he's going to have the 27 to his inside. 27 thought about making it 3 wide. Thinks again. Probably a good idea. And that's going to give a lot of space to Shane Hard in the 21 out front. So he's going to have smooth sailing for right now, as the 27 is determined to get by one of these guys at least. And if they're going to stay side by side, look for him to get a little bit wild here, maybe 3 wide. He's on the inside, 72 on the outside. He's going to try to see what he can do there. He's going to pass the 72. Now in the 3rd position is the 27 of Stanton. And look at that again. And now caution's out, but it wasn't for those guys. So he did hit the 84 Jordan Giorno, but he is going to recover. That's great break for both of those guys, realistically. Looks like Jason Williams had the issue. Let's take a look back and see if we can see what that's about. That's going to be your 40 car there. And, yep, just loose off turn 4. We've seen that many times today. All right, so our 14th caution now. And we will have to see. It looks like Jordan is going to maintain the 2nd position. That's good. You don't want to get past that way, that's for sure. And the 27 there of Aaron Stanton. I know he didn't mean to do that, but man, we've seen that too many times where guys just run into the back of somebody going into the corner. One of the biggest issues I think in iRacing is, you know, somebody may not be running the corners like you. You know, you may go into the corners faster than somebody else who brakes a little bit more going into the corners, so they get more throttle off. And just because you don't run the same line doesn't mean you can run them over from behind, or not the same line, I should say, the same strategy. And if you're running the same line, you have to hit the brake. That's just all there is to it. You can't just run a guy over, and unfortunately, that's what has happened a couple of times. I'm not saying anybody did it intentionally, but it's all, you know, it's just an accident. But it has happened quite a few times in the race. So I think I'm going to hold off doing any interviews right now, as we are getting down to this. Don't want to give anybody the broadcaster curse, so we will let them continue to work and do what they need to do. Sure, there's got to be some chatter on the radio. Should we take tires? Should we not? Times are definitely going to be falling off. A couple of guys fake it. Nobody does it. They're lining up like we are 1 to go. So if we get green on lap 122 here, we will have 28 laps remaining in this race. '84 Jordan Giorno, who is our pulse hitter, is going to get the shot on the outside this time. See if he can throttle up well and not spin his tires, and see if he can stay to the outside there. Everybody is probably a little bit more keyed up right now, especially the guys in the top, 10 to 15. Guys from 10th to 15th are definitely, it's go time for them. They got to get in a position to get a good finish, and the guys up front just want everybody to calm down. That's generally what it is. Great jump there you see from the 21. Wow, 27 and 72 both get loose. It's going to be 3 wide. Elijah Fisher is in the middle of that sandwich. That did not work out so good. Elijah had to back out of it. Look at this now. Elijah's on the outside. He's going to get around a couple of those guys that way. And now he's going to look to go to the inside, it looks like. Got a car to his inside, so he's going to kind of stay out there on the outs. Go back up front. The lead is heating up. Oh, the 6 car is loose back there. We'll see if he actually saves it or not. But we got a battle for the lead here. Look at Jordan Giorno just dive into the inside. makes a little bit of contact with the 21, and they are neck and neck. Jordan is going to prevail there, but the momentum is with the 21 on the outside. Let's see what happens through 3 and 4. Look at the momentum the 21 carries, but that's about as far as it goes right there. And then off the corner, he cannot carry that momentum. So Jordan Giorno takes the lead here on lap 123. Call it 124 now. And let's see if he can set sail. Shane Haar is not going to let that happen. If he has anything to say about it, he is going to race him as hard as possible. Looking to the outside now. But again, just the momentum is not going to carry through 3 and 4 like that. Oh, and Shane Haar gets loose. And lucky for him, there's a caution because that might have cost him another spot right there. I don't see what that caution is. Nothing is pinging, and nobody is stopped on track. So, kind of a strange ordeal there. Maybe the 80. No, well, 84 leader. He's just slowing down for the pace trap. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't ping anything. Not sure what happened there. Unfortunately, I cannot show you why that caution came out. But here we are, 15th caution, and we are on lap 25. 25 to go as we cross the stripe here. Jordan Giorno got himself out into the lead. Oh, he's actually going to pit. Nope. Nope, he faked it. Shane Haar's coming in. Elijah's coming in. Westenberg's coming in. Now, just for the record, folks, if this was actually NASCAR racing, that would be a penalty, a commitment line violation by the 84. But he gets away with it in iRacing. So, Shane Haar's in. Jordan Giorno is still going to be our leader. That's gonna lead out at least 10 cars. Call it 11. 11 cars stayed out on the lead lap, and Shane Haar is going to be in 12th position here with 25 to go. Now, don't get me wrong, he is going to be a heck of a lot faster than these guys. But, you know, if we get, let's say we get the green with 23 laps to go, that's going to be a lot of cars to make up. And as he gets further through the field, it's going to be harder and harder because those cars are, one, faster, and two, you've used more of your tires. So that's going to be a tall order here. But it certainly could be done. I want to say Anderson just pit. I don't know why it's showing to me that he's falling back through 72. Not there. And I do not see him in the pits either. That would be terrible if he just had a disconnect. Not sure. Not a bummer. Going in the 18th position now, still on the lead lap. Did he... No, see, every time I go to him, it's like, it goes to Phoenix. So that means to me that he is not technically on the track. That could be a disconnect. That is a bummer. All right, well, we're getting ready to go green here. We'll go green with 23 laps remaining, as the 27 is not able to stay with the 84, so he's going to get out front. 3, almost 4, call it 4 wide in the back, and they are going to crash. 32, Westenberg just went around. Darcy Haar's in it. Let's kind of take a look at it real quick. We saw it live, but look at that 32 right there as he comes through the 23. 32 is kind of moving down a little bit, though. I don't think he thought that they were that, 3 or 4 wide. I think he thought there was maybe one inside there, and he could kind of use that middle a little bit more. So that's just, unfortunately, what that really comes down to is a lack of, let's call it, ingenuity in the pit, not the pit, the spotter that they have in iRacing, because spotter is just going to say there's a car inside. He's just going to say inside, whatever. Not going to say 2 inside, which is really what you need to hear because it makes a huge difference. Do I need to give 1 car length or 2 car lengths, or width, I should say? And unfortunately, iRacing just doesn't have that mechanism programmed into it to where it can say 2 inside. And fortunately, he did not know, and that's what happens. So, a few more laps are going to click off here for Giorno, and he's got to love to see that. Side note, the purple car on the bottom, the 21 of Shane Har that was in your monitor there for just a second, made it from 12th to 8th. So he got 4 cars in just over a lap. So, like I said, he definitely has speed. He definitely can do it. It's just going to be a matter of how many green flag laps he gets to be able to make this happen. All right, let's line up here. Leader going to take the inside again. Lights have gone off the truck, so we are 1 to go. We'll get green with 19 laps to go there. Aaron Stanton on that 27 will get a shot again on the outside. Wasn't able to stay with Jordan first time, so we'll see if he can maybe try to time that a little bit better and stay on that outside. We have seen cars do well if they can stay within, they can stay on the outside of the leader. They can fare very well going through the middle of 2 and off, and so that is the goal, but it is difficult for these guys to do that, and you're making a reaction move, and when you make a reaction move, the reaction is really to drop the throttle as hard as possible. That gets them loose, so see what happens here. 27 doesn't get loose, but just didn't get going as fast as the 84. Didn't have a great reaction time. Now the 43 is inside, and look at Hauser, like all the way back in this thing after having multiple issues. So great for him. Took advantage of a few guys pitting, I think, to leapfrog a couple of guys, but he should have fresher tires as well because he came up through that after having to pit for damage. So he is looking. Oh, look, Elijah Fisher back there getting a little bit loose. Shane Har is up to 5th now. No battle here for the lead. 27 not really able to keep up there. Look at Shane Har on the outside there. And he is going to see if he can get around Kate Cannon in that 9. Looks like momentum going to him. But going to have some work there through this corner here. You've seen Shane Har is not great on the outside, 3 and 4. And you see a little bit loose there. Can't really hold it there. Shane Har does not like the outside. That is for sure. Whether fresh tires or not. He's stuck up there right now. He's got to figure out how to do it. He is better on the outside on this end of the racetrack. And now you'll see momentum go to him for sure. He's got that now in the 4th position. There's the gap there to the 2nd place. There's the lead gap. A little over half a second, so not under any sort of fire there whatsoever. A little bit further back in the field now. The 12 is trying to get around the 9. 9 kind of succumbing to a couple of positions here. Look at Shane Har, goes around the 43 with ease, put him in the 3rd position. He's got 16 laps to go, folks. He's got plenty of time to get these guys. If he can put down some solid laps